That's another episode of FYN with Ty and Yoh. This is
Yeah.
Yoh. That's Ty. It's our first live stream that we've done for the show. Ty, what made you want to do a live stream event for Fuck You Know?
Um, well, we do a lot of our we kind of do our whole show based on like a TV series. So
Yeah,
we shoot everything, program it out, schedule it. But we don't always be able to cover real life events in real time. So
yep.
I thought us being able to incorporate some lives into the fold would be a very, very helpful to be able to achieve that. So we decided to do a few moments, you
FU
know.
moments. Now, Ty, what is a
Yeah.
FU moment?
FU moment is like for me, it's like a moment of empowerment. When you see
Mm,
business in the market, you're like, man, this is crazy. This is inspiring. Like I'm inspired by this, right? And we'll talk about how people kind of stood on their morals, integrity, or they stood on like principle, or they you leveraged their equity to get a better deal, or they was able to walk away from something, or it just was a incredible deal. Like, whoa,
yeah,
budget got 250 M's
yeah.
for the new contract. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
I think all of those are FU moments.
What's the first FU moment that comes to mind when you think about something you've seen recently that made you feel like, oh yeah, that's a FU moment?
I think reading about the Clipse and pushing them kind of buying themselves
Yeah,
out of the deal. I mean,
yeah.
you was telling me about, more about the story. I just seen a few clips, but I think you can get into what that was, and we can kind of talk on that a little bit.
I mean, bro, I thought it was incredible. You see this Clips roll out right now. It's been 15 years since the last Clips album, right? Which is in rap
Crazy,
music 100 years to not have an album
right? That's crazy.
almost in 2 decades. Like, it's nuts. For them to come back as hard as they've been coming, the music sounds great. The interviews have been incredible. But one particular interview when they sat down and spoke with actually Stephen Victor did an interview with Billboard about how they were in a deal with Def Jam, and Def Jam did not like a record they had with Kendrick, and they were trying to get them to censor certain lyrics. And the Clipse is the Clipse, bro. This is not some commercial, we're gonna baby food you something that you're not gonna understand. Like, nah, the Clipse is the Clipse. These niggas is hard. We're not gonna censor shit. So after a while, Def Jam was like, well, we're gonna shelve the album. You gonna shelve the album? That's crazy. So they went to Stephen Victor, started having negotiations about, well, we'll drop the Clipse, but this is the situation. And it ended up being like 7 figures that they would have to put up to get out of the deal. And then Def Jam, wherever they would take the album, they would be able to get some money off top. So it's a hard. Who do you call when you need 7 figures,
right,
Who do you call when you got
right,
to get out of a deal
right.
where the number is 7 figures and
Your
they
friends
call,
need friends.
you know what I'm saying? But who is your friend? Who is your FU money friend that you're gonna call that's gonna get you out of this situation?
You
They
need some
call
FU
Jay-Z.
money friends.
They call
Hove,
Jay-Z. They call Hove. They
Hove.
said Stephen Victor said it was a 5-minute call. For 5 minutes, they was able to
Love it.
say, "Hey, I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna take you. You guys just release the album through the Roc Nation
Love it.
distribution, and they've been cooking ever since." And I just, FU money is about like being able to remove yourself from something that doesn't serve you, right? If
Right.
I'm in a situation where someone tells me I can't drop my music, I gotta censor myself, or I gotta censor someone that works with us, bro, I gotta get out of here. I have to go. And I think
Yeah.
being able to call somebody to get you out of a jam like that and then to see them at top form, like Jay got a Clipse album, bro. Like being able to say I'm gonna put out the next Clipse album is a flex. That's a
So
flex.
15 years ago, I'm pretty sure that wasn't on the 8 ball.
Hell
What
no.
is that? The fortune cookie.
Hell no.
That
Hell
that
no.
that Hove will be releasing a Clipse album 15 years from now.
Bro, if you would have told somebody that, they'd be like, why? What would have to occur for Jay-Z to get a Clipse album? First off, Mouse was even rapping. Malice had
First of
stopped
all,
rapping.
Malice said stop rapping.
Malice had found God. Okay, he won't
Yeah,
worry about no raps. And then Pusha was doing solo stuff with Kanye. Like, I just don't think no one would have thought Jay-Z would have been the person to help us get the next Clips album. Not a chance.
right,
Not a chance.
right, right.
So
But I'm
yeah,
loving it.
that's huge.
I'm,
That's
I'm
huge.
loving. I'm
Have
loving
you
all of
have
the
you always been a Clips
rollout.
fan, Ty?
Um, I've always rocked with the Clipse. See, I'm the worst type of fan, right? I'm not a fan of much, right? I'm a fan of like Denzel Washington,
Okay.
Obama,
Okay.
you know,
All
Michelle
right.
Obama,
Excellence.
you know, um, I'm a fan of uh, Prime, Deion Sanders.
Yep.
Uh,
Harlem
I'm,
Nights.
I'm a fan of Hole. I'm a fan of Charisse, which is the CEO of Harborview.
Okay.
Uh, I'm a fan of uh, man. It is, and these are business like people.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
like these are not even like I'm a fan of Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is like eight
like
people.
so yeah. So it's about a hot 10
A hot 10. You got
that
a
like
hot 10.
yeah, that and I'm not waiting in line for none of that. I'm not doing none of that. Like, I waited in line for Obama to vote for Obama the first time. You know what I'm saying?
That's yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
The
3 hours,
first time. Yeah. Wow.
3 hours
In Atlanta?
in Atlanta.
Okay.
But yeah, but to say the least, I rock with the Clipse. I rock with Pusher. I love. I just love family business. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
That's really what I'm a fan of. Like I'm a fan of like the LeVar Ball movement with his family.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fan of LeBron and Bronny, and
Yeah.
like I'm just a fan of family business. You know what I'm saying?
That's
You can
fine.
do cool shit with your family. So I think the Clips coming back at this forecast of the music business,
Hmm.
the way that they're doing it, because you're talking about they're rolling out Louis Vuitton.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Partnership with Hove. You
Yep.
know, and then still rapping about what they want to rap about, how they want
Yep.
to rap about it. You know what I'm saying? And really owning their moment. So I think that shit just fire.
Now, is there anything on the sports world where you see a FU moment?
Well, you have to give super props for all the new draft picks in the NBA
Yes,
draft pick.
sir.
Um, the draft was last week on the 25th and the
Hmm.
26th of June. And I mean, these kids literally, from different parts of the world, mainly in the US, um, kids that really truly had to work and prove they couldn't go viral. They had to like really do the work. So I
Facts.
think being drafted in general is a fu moment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, as Elijah Martin, he went
Hmm.
to FAU, got to the Final Four in FAU 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Then he transferred to Florida. They won a national championship this year.
Crazy.
When he transferred to Florida, I'm pretty sure they didn't have him on the mock draft as getting drafted.
At
You
all.
know what I'm saying? He's from Mississippi. I can't remember what part of Mississippi, but 6'2". I think Elijah like it's 205, two-way
6'2",
guard,
205.
super
Yeah.
muscle. Got drafted second round to the Toronto Raptors. And so I know for him, that was an FU moment. His teammate, Walter Clayton, another transfer
Hmm.
who nobody probably had on their books that was going to be, a first round draft pick.
Right.
He ended up going, I think, number 17 or number 18. I can't remember what it was, but he definitely was top 20.
Hmm.
And when the season started, nobody had him as a first round draft pick. That's a FU
At
money
all.
moment.
Hmm.
I think the starting five for University of Duke, led by Cooper Flag, they all got drafted.
Yeah.
FU moments. You
The
know what I'm
whole
saying?
starting five got
The
drafted.
whole starting five got
Yeah,
drafted,
that's hard.
And so in the world of sports, and it's been a lot of big rookie extensions, especially with Shy after winning
Hmm.
the national
Hmm.
championship, after winning, MVP in the finals. Um, Small market. I think he just got $225 million extension. Big money,
And to be so young too. But like, okay, tell me this,
super
Ty.
young.
What advice would you give these new draftees going into the NBA, knowing that they worked hard to get there, but now that you get into the league, what would you suggest them consider going into the NBA for their first season?
First thing I would consider is lock in. Don't worry about nothing but ball.
Hmm.
Don't worry about your parents, your girlfriend, your wife, your kids is different if you got kids. But they get these 18, 19-year-old kids. You know what I'm saying? If you do got a kid, worry about your kid. But
Yeah.
like really stay locked in on ball. Learn education, all of those different things. Second thing is manage your overhead and your family overhead.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have these kids getting 12, 10, like $9 to $12 million guaranteed year over year, in these top draft picks. You
Mm-hmm.
should not be, you don't have that type of lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Your lifestyle don't cost that much.
It
So
shouldn't cost that much.
it's obvious you're failing your life if you look up in 2 years and now you have a $5 million lifestyle. That's not the life. You don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
Put that money to work for you. And put your family on a very strict spending budget because sometimes the family be the one that take it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just trying to be just trying to support your family.
Right.
And I would say the third thing is, man, go get some therapy, man. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Go get some therapy. Go get an executive coach, man. Because when you get blessed with that amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe you need therapy.
Really?
What? You go
Just
from $50,000 in your accounts and this thing, boom,
it's 12 million.
6 million, 12 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need some therapy. Family, whole family, we want to get some therapy. Yeah, 1,000%.
I guess that wouldn't be common like 20 years ago to think that early draft picks, young men, would need therapy if they go into the league.
No, it wouldn't be common, but I'm a firm believer in preparing for the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know,
Yeah.
you got to prepare like you don't know.
Come on.
So I need therapy, executive coaching, media
Yeah.
training,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
wealth manager,
Yeah. Because
security.
because you just don't know, especially looking at what happened with Halliburton in the finals.
Yeah,
That was
1,000%.
heartbreaking. That was
Well,
heartbreaking.
very, very
But
heartbreaking.
you just don't know how your body is going to handle all the stress of all the playing that you're going to have to go through. You might
1,000%.
you might imagine you're guaranteed to play 15 seasons, but you just don't know how
Yeah.
your body's going to work. So you don't know how your
Nah.
finances is going to be set up in the next 10, 15 years. So you need to go ahead and prepare yourself for a long career, but also just managing your life.
Yeah. And part of that focus on ball is also incorporating focus on your body. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Because your body is literally your cash cow at this point. Eating right, getting your sleep in. Like, it ain't no need for you to be going to no parties. Listen, man, I'm 41 years old, but ain't nothing in that party gonna make you $10 million. Boy, I'm telling you right now. Nothing in that party gonna make you $10 million. Nothing in that party gonna make you $3 million. Not doing what you love. So it's like you gotta manage your
It
life and
might
your
cost you
expectations.
$3 million.
Absolutely. Gotta watch out for the groupies too, man, because the groupies are very tactical. You know what I'm saying?
Tactical.
They know where your
Tactical.
location's at. They know what hotel you're gonna be at. They pretty resourceful. I'm convinced that there's a groupie union
A
that they use
groupie
it.
union.
Yeah, it's a groupie union. They use the union to figure out all of the strategic places to go to get you a baller.
To get you the baller union would
Yeah,
be an amazing Chappelle skit
yeah,
in
to get you the baller
2020.
you in. One
Oh
thousand
my
percent. I'm
God.
telling you, man, they know too much information too fast, man.
Too
It's
fast.
like FBI groupie union. That's how fast they get information.
They might be the FBI,
I'm telling you,
depending
man.
on how big the contract is.
Listen, tough
Uh,
out here.
is there anything in like the business entrepreneurial world where you saw something that made you feel like that's a great FU moment?
Um, Man, I listen I look at so much like content around business. I think the
Mhm.
biggest FU moment for me is them boys, Rashard and Troy with Invest Fest. I think
Mhm.
this is year 3.
Yes.
Man, they've been going crazy with Invest Fest, man.
Yeah.
Like from a
Insane.
business conference perspective, and it
Mhm.
being like these two black brothers, and
Mhm.
they're exposing black wealth and like educating people about a lot of the black entrepreneurs that are wealthy, that are rich, that are like doing incredible things, that have done incredible things in business,
Mhm.
and then they're opening up from a philanthropy perspective, doing these startup grants for the business,
Yep.
and it's all been in Atlanta.
Yep.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was so excited about InvestFest the first year. I bought seats. I bought floor seats.
You
Nigga.
floor
I bought
seat
floor seats. I bought floor seats so crazy that it was an unlimited pass forever. So
forever.
I get, I get
You got a
investment.
lifetime
I got a lot.
ticket.
I made a mistake. I ain't make a mistake. I just didn't know what all of it came with.
But Ty
So like
said,
the
"Hey, I'm
first
sporting."
first year, I spent like 22 racks on InvestFest because I was trying to. Because they had so many great people on the panel. I like, I want to be
Yeah.
on the front row, like on the floor seats. So I thought I was buying season passes. Man, I messed around and bought lifetime
A
passes for
lifetime
InvestFest.
pass forever. But
And
that's
every
hard.
year I get like a payment confirmation, and I'll be like, oh, they don't hit my card again. And then I remember, wait a minute,
He
say I
said
got the
they hit my
lifetime joint.
card again.
That's crazy.
But bro, we went the second year, I believe. FU Money, me, Vanessa went.
Yeah,
It was on the vendor floor. And one thing that I was still impressed by was the amount of Black businesses that were able to set up shop and like put their stuff on display. And there was things I had never seen before in my life at InvestFest. I was like, yo,
telling
there's
you.
the amount of like creative, innovative Black ideas that are still being funneled through this country is insane. And I just love the
Yeah.
fact that InvestFest creates a space for people to gather and like it's a huge conference. Bro, I was so impressed. I was
10,000,
incredibly
I think it's
impressed.
like 10,000 people a day or something like that, bro.
10,000 people a day. I think 50 Cent was the speaker, the keynote speaker when we went. And even just the fact of seeing 50 not rap, but could just sit down and talk about all his business moves and what he's doing with movies and television. Like it just felt incredible. It just felt like an incredible space to see how you can like pivot, how you can evolve, and how you can grow.
Yeah, man. Man, when I tell you, I love seeing it. I love seeing that diverse shit work. I
Mm-hmm.
love seeing Black shit work, especially when it comes to business. You know what I'm saying? It's a very, very, impactful thing. And I'm super grateful to even be a part of like some of these conversations and a lot of those different moving pieces. So
Mm-hmm.
um it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's super crazy.
Did you anticipate your life being where it is right now when you were voting for Obama in that 3 hour line?
Uh nah, man, like when you think about life and things like when I Obama, that was 2008,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was was it the end of 2008 or the beginning of 2008?
In November, like November
November
2008,
2008.
going in 2009. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So I was working at Target. But it was so cold standing in the line waiting for Obama. Cause but what I did think about, I was like, man, it would be so fire if I can get rich while a Black man in office. That's what I
Yeah,
did think about.
you thought about that?
I did think about that. I was like, man, and I ended up making more money when Trump was in office the first time. I was kind of blown. But
But
then I was like, man, you know what? I got set up while Obama was
I
in
was about to
office.
say your setup though, your foundation was built during the
Yeah,
Obama years, so it just
yeah.
happened.
I ain't gonna never give Donald Trump that credit. I got
The
rich when Obama was in office.
you got rich.
That's good. That's what I'm gonna think about it.
But isn't it crazy how you can't really time things like that? Like you can imagine in my ideal world, this at this period, this 8 year block, I will be richer than I've ever been with a Black man as president. It's like you can forecast it, but you can't predict it.
Because you never were gonna predict there was gonna be a Black man president.
Never, 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 never. I mean, man, I still feel like there's so much progress happening in this country, despite all of the political space right now is on fire. Like there's so
Yeah,
much happening.
and the thing about the president thing, I don't think you can be like people be like, oh, you can be a good president. I don't. I think there's a low bar on being a good president because of all the things that come with it. Like
Mm,
it's like when you're trying to represent such a diverse group of people,
hmm.
no matter what your color is, but especially if you're Black,
Right.
I feel like the bar of being a great president is so low because if you do really great for this body of people, then this body of people are gonna be like, oh, you didn't do for
Yeah.
me. And if you do really great for this sector of business, this sector of business is gonna be like, well, but bad, you didn't do nothing for me. So I
Right.
think that you don't have no real high barrier of what success look like, but you have a very deep barrier of how you can fuck things up.
100%. 100%.
All can be deep. Like I think the barrier of just like Great presidents don't go to war and keep the economy healthy.
Healthy.
And that's a great president. That's what I feel like it is.
But very rarely you're gonna be able to get both those things. I'd
I mean,
say.
I don't know. I can't sit down and say that I just be paying attention to politics like that.
Yeah.
But it does feel like you're in a lose situation if you're the president.
Most of
First
the
of all,
time.
you lose your like privacy. So
Yep.
you can't even go
Completely.
out to the park and shoot no
Who
jumpers without
at
Secret
all.
Service on your
At
hip,
all.
right? Then your family get
On your
hit by
hip.
that, so your family
Yep.
can't do nothing, right?
Right.
So I can't imagine being like, I want to go down and get some Harold's fried chicken. And I've been doing it as a tradition for forever. And then next thing I become president, and now I can't get no Harold's fried chicken without the Secret Service on top of it.
Or they're gonna be you're
Right.
gonna be on CNN. President eating Harold's fried chicken shuts down the
Right.
block in Chicago. Like,
But then you gotta be like, then you can't even really do it because they're gonna be like, oh, it's inside a trader because I see you start investing into Harold's fried chicken. Now you're
yo,
eating the chicken, bro.
Harold
It's like
stock booming.
it's so many different elements of it.
I
But
feel you.
I feel like that those it's very hard to have FU moments if you're the president.
I feel you.
Even though Donald Trump, he ain't really a president, bro.
I,
Out here, I don't know. I wouldn't consider Donald Trump a president. I
no.
think Donald Trump is like a substitute teacher.
A substitute teacher.
Yeah, Donald Trump is definitely, absolutely, is a substitute president. Because you don't have to have the same qualifications to be a substitute teacher as you got
You
to do to be a
don't.
regular teacher.
You don't.
So
You
I
can just hand
think,
out busy work. You don't gotta
yeah,
have
like,
no curriculum. You don't gotta have no lessons. You don't even
yeah,
need to know all the kids in the class.
yeah, like so. I really feel like Donald Trump, he's just substitute teacher. So we still waiting for the president to really
To
come
show up
to show up.
in 3 years for
So
sure.
yeah,
Um,
that's kind of like what it boils down to me.
I did want to highlight
Oh yeah, bro, going crazy.
I can't think of brother's name, but I remember them going bankrupt about a year ago, and if you live in on the south side of Clayton County, there's a Red Lobster on Tara Boulevard that
Yes,
closed.
it is.
It closed.
Oh, they
Ty.
closed it.
It's not
Dang.
that was like the spot. If you was on the south side, you was going to Red Lobster. When they closed
Right
that
down
Red
by
Lobster, bro. Yeah.
Right.
When they closed that, I thought it was over for Red Lobster. I was like, okay, they about to be shutting down a bunch of businesses. You know what I'm saying? We grew up on the cheddar biscuits, but I thought it was over. In the last, I would say 5-6 weeks, I've seen more Red Lobster ads, more Red Lobster posts, more Red Lobster promotions because they got the new crab oil. They got the new, you know what I'm saying? They got happy hour now.
We're gonna bring this thing back. We're gonna put some life into this thing.
So it's a
bring them crab
resurrection.
bars.
Bring
them crab bar bags out.
So I thought it was interesting to watch somebody kind of pivot a brand that's kind of well known already, but was also going through a terrible time, bankruptcy, all that, and to watch it kind of get a revival, I thought was really, really like a FU moment, especially being somebody so young.
Hold on, man. We got to get that black man name.
Yeah,
man.
get his name. My bad. I totally slipped on my research.
No, it's all good. We're gonna get that brother name, man. That brother name be important.
I think VJ.
I think it's Dumala. Oh yeah, see, you can't even let me say it because I'm gonna fuck it up anyway. I think Dumala Adamalukina. Yeah, it's crazy.
He's Nigerian.
He's Nigerian. He's first generation Nigerian American. Ivy League, graduated from Brown University, bro. He's a former Wall Street investor.
So previously,
he was the former CEO for PF Chang.
PF Chang, okay.
Where he led the brand to over $1 billion in annual revenue.
Jesus.
Bro, 35 years old.
Going crazy. So he came off of Wall Street and got to PF. Now he at Red Lobster. And I think that's really encouraging to see somebody young being able to touch these companies that have been around. Probably Red Lobster got to be older than 35 years old, man. It's got
1,000%. 1,000%.
You know what I'm saying?
He was able to receive $6 million investment to help revitalize 545 locations across the U.S. and Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's rare as a black CEO. It's still a rare. So that's dope.
How many percentage of CEOs you think are black, Ty?
So it's funny because the CEOs of companies that are black owned or like CEOs or like Fortune 500
Ooh,
companies?
Fortune 500 companies.
Ooh, I'll be surprised if it's more than 5%.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if it's more than 5%. So that means that, let me see, 500 times 10,
Mm-hmm.
that is 50. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that'd be 25 black CEOs in the Fortune 500 companies, man or woman.
Man, is it 25? That would be,
I'm just saying, would it be, is it,
yeah.
that's 5% of the Fortune 500.
V said 16% of Fortune 500 companies have black CEOs. You were almost right on the head, bro.
16%? No, I said
16%.
five.
Oh, you said 5? Okay.
But
So
I was
six,
saying out of that 25 is 25 people. Like two,
got you.
so it's like 16%. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's
no, my bad. That's not 16. It's 1.6. I didn't see the dot.
yeah. So that's definitely
Oh,
an FU moment.
never
So my
mind.
man at Red Lobster, he having some
Yeah.
FU moments. He
He
bringing some
having
of
a
that
big, yeah.
black moment in the food industry. You know what
You
I'm
know what
saying? But
I'm
yeah,
saying?
I told you that'd be surprised if it's more than five. I
Yeah,
mean, it's more than
1.6.
5% in Fortune 500. Nah.
But I hope he's like a torchbearer that lets people see that, like, yo, young black entrepreneurs, CEOs can run it up for companies that are
Bro,
failing companies.
speaking of this, right? You know, I'm a Denzel Washington fan, right?
Yes.
So every time a Denzel Washington movie comes out, everybody knows that that's Denzel Day for me. So September 5th is the next Denzel Washington movie
Yep.
with Spike Lee.
Higher and lower.
So I'm definitely gonna be wherever I need to be at to see that on
Yep.
September 5th, right? Now, I'm doing movie night last night, and my girl shows me this Denzel Washington movie that I never seen.
You never saw a
And
Denzel movie?
it's called Mississippi Massa.
Mm.
Mississippi. You know what movie that is?
I only know it because I've seen his filmography, but I haven't seen that movie. I know of the
Bro,
name.
bro, that movie was the wildest Denzel Washington
Really?
movie. First, it's like young Denzel. Like
Yeah.
young,
It's an
young.
early movie. It's an early movie.
Bro. So I was like watching the movie. The movie had a terrible ending, by the way, but Denzel still was Denzel in that thing, though. You know what
He
I'm
said it
saying?
had a terrible ending.
Yeah, the ending didn't make no sense. It just like went off.
Okay.
But it didn't like have no like punctuation
Yeah.
of like the thing. You know what I'm saying?
What made y'all watch it? Because you haven't seen it?
Cause you know I'm a Denzel Washington fan, and she was just like, "Oh, you ever seen this movie?" I'm like, "This is Denzel Washington." You know, I pride myself on watching every single Denzel Washington movie.
Yeah.
So the fact that I didn't see that, I was like, "Man, this is great." Yeah, I'm trying to see this. What is this? First play. Let's watch this thing.
Man, I'm excited for new Denzel too. Because him and Spike coming back together, that's another, like, we've seen a lot of reunions of like
Mm.
great duos, peers
Yep.
coming together. So I think Denzel and Spike coming back, especially with Denzel kind of like getting into like his elder statesman age, he's
Yeah.
cooking right now, man. Gladiator was crazy.
Oh yeah, he definitely could.
He's I think he's probably be doing Black Panther too. So it's
Yeah.
like
I
a
thought
lot.
it's in Black Panther 3, ain't it?
Three. I said two,
Yeah.
like TOO,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
definitely a
right.
good. The third joint is gonna go crazy.
You know what's so crazy? Ryan Coogler and I think I
Yeah,
said his last name right. And
yeah.
Michael B. Jordan.
Another
Now,
duo.
I'm not comparing Michael B. Jordan to Denzel, so I don't want people to just be going crazy.
All
But
right.
what I am comparing is the kingmanship between Ryan and Michael B. Jordan
Yep.
that can be relatable to Denzel and Spike Lee.
Spike Lee, 100%.
Like really, really starting young with like doing all
Yep.
these early films together. But Ryan and Mike, they start going crazy,
Yeah.
like together, you know, from that aspect of things. And I think it's really cool that Spike and Denzel are getting back in and get some new energy around, especially with where the industry is right now.
It seems like there's in this conversation we talked about like the youth coming into the draft, but then we also
Yeah,
looking at like veterans like the Clipse being able to still run it up. It's almost like we're in an age where age does not matter in the sense that people are still gonna be interested if you got something to say, if you got something to
right,
prove. You still have space to show up and show and prove. So I
right,
think that's an
right.
excellent it's an excellent time for FU moments no matter how old you are.
Amen.
All right. Well, Ty, I know you said you wanted to do like a little 30 piece. We just hit the
Yeah,
30
man,
minute mark.
I wanted to jump in, you know what I'm saying? This is something that we're gonna be starting to incorporate into our programming.
Mm-hmm.
We do got Culture Playbook Volume 2 on the way.
It's on the way, y'all. It's
On the
on the
way.
way. It's
We're
a
gonna keep
really,
giving
really
that
good one.
information,
Yes, sir.
so that people can take their business
Mm-hmm.
and entertainment. Because the more and more you read the Culture Playbook, obviously we got 4 volumes, but this is the second volume. The more and more you read Culture Playbook, you're going to be able to just scale your entertainment business.
100%.
And, probably can do things outside of it because I'm using the same tactics that I used in music across other
Mm-hmm.
businesses that I'm doing that don't have nothing to do with entertainment. And we're starting to see some success on it. So these skill sets are transferable.
Come on now. All right.
Cool.
Well, that's a FU moment with Ty and Yoh. We'll see you guys next time.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.